right back, Charlie.
You always use that active when defending. I think it's like.
We live? Of course we are. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. As usual, I'm very appreciative of the support you lot give me. One love to the members, them as well. Please get your questions in and whatnot. And it's self-explanatory at this point. It's Q&A day. Like I said, one love to everybody tuned in, but one love to all my members and things. I love you guys. What more can I say, people? You know, it's Q&A days. It's self-explanatory. Literally answering the questions put forward to me and whatnot. Please make sure you're hitting the like button because, you know, this isn't the final stop. I know you're probably all tired of my live streams and seeing my face now, but at this point, we're almost there. If you don't want to see my face anymore, I promise you, we're almost there, people. We're almost there. We get through this. You know, I'm going to have Mo on my channel at 4 p.m. Mo's only got 30 to 45 minutes, so it's not going to be the longest of ones, but it's about quality, not quantity. Obviously, the grind doesn't stop. Tomorrow, Arsenal versus Norwich watch along. I'm trying to go one jam, you know. I could have easily just said, nah, I'm not trying to do none of this, but commitment's there. So obviously, yeah, make sure you're following on Twitch, Deluded Gooner. Make sure you're pressing the like button on this video. Open up another tab, open, you know, copy and paste the Arsenal link or just click the Arsenal Norwich link, set your reminders for tomorrow, and also check out the DG merch. One love to everyone who's been getting their hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, etc., etc. I appreciate that. But moving on, it's Q&A day, innit? Big up, Jay. Jay, I ain't seen a question from you, bro. If you ain't got a question, it's not that deep, but I really don't like to miss anyone else out, people. I see John Doe, I see Mr. Adlib23, I see 11, all on the YouTube community tab. I don't see AM, I don't see C Robin, I don't see Bear of you, you know. Bear of you are not there. But anyways, I can only deal with what's in front of me, man. So let's start with Life from Planet X. One love to you, my guy. I've been a massive supporter. Out of our new summer signings, sorry, you didn't even say summer, but out of our new signings, who are you most excited about for this season? Oof. For me, Lokonga, you know, I'd say Lokonga first things first. I think he could lock down a role in midfield. I really like what he's about. I like his profile. I like what I see from him. So I'd say Lokonga for me personally, without a doubt. I'd say Lokonga by quite a distance. Sorry, without a doubt. I would say I like Ben White. I think he's got something there. I'm intrigued to see what Ramsdale brings to the table. If I'm honest with you. Odegaard is Odegaard. I hope he can step up and things. I like what Tavares is, and hopefully he can be a backup player for Tini and actually just try and push Tini all the way and whatnot. But I would say Lokonga for me. I'd say Lokonga. You know, work is moving mad, bro. Minor J, man. Minor. So I'd say that, my guy. Love for that question. So I'd say Lokonga, personally. Pardon me. Who would you bring into our current team if you could only pick one player in their prime? Aaron Ramsey, Wilshere, or Rosicky? Wilshere without a doubt, broski. Without a doubt, by a distance, by an absolute distance. You know, Jack Wilshere. After Jack Wilshere, I'd actually probably, to be fair, we need goal scorers. But for me, I'd probably say Rosicky second and then Ramsey. But if it's what we need right now, I think, you know, a fit Jack Wilshere without the injuries and all of that madness, you know. He replaces he could probably replace man said Partey. He play with Partey, replace Xhaka. Ramsey, we need a goal scorer midfielder, innit? You sold Joe Willock. You could say you probably need them, but you also need artists. So I would say for me anyways, yeah, man, Wilshere first, Rosicky second, and Ramsey third. But if it was on, you know, that's if it was on what Arsenal need, I'd say Wilshere, Ramsey, and then Rosicky, if I'm completely honest with you. And that, people, you know, one love to the members. Sorry to let you lot down, you know. I thought let me make it open to subscribers so you lot can answer. But if you're not a member, then I can't answer your question, or I'm taking away and really stealing from the members, then really and truly. So with respect, I'll have to answer you lot's non-members. I mean, yeah, non-members in another time. Like, so you're kind of wasting your breath. Sorry for guys, but yeah, man, you're wasting your breath, man. So yeah, man, let me flip the page as well and get into the other questions and whatnot. It's not too many. Members are letting me down today, but as you lot can see, we've got them here. Should we start from the bottom to the top? John Doe, big up John, man. I love it. There's no such thing as too many questions. You lot, make sure you check out Delinquent Nation as well, man. What a good channel that is if you like to hear stories of people turning things around. He's actually making a movie and he's got a GoFundMe. I know how it feels to, need help. So support the thing, really. But John Doe said, unpopular opinion, yes, the board don't invest, but they always make a reasonable amount of money available. Fair play. That's not a question, but fair play. I'll say it nonetheless. Who will take the longest to adapt out of our new signings? Oof. Good question. Oof. Well, Odegaard's been here already. Ben White knows the league. Whether he has a suitable defensive structure to walk into is a completely different thing. The Conga's settled in my opinion. Maybe Tavares for me, because I have question marks over him defensively. I don't know how much game time he's going to get. So I would say probably Tavares, really, potentially Ramsdale. John Doe, you said pick one to play for Arsenal in 10 years. Aziz or Patino, also could they play together? Of course, they could play together. If I had to pick one, I love Aziz, but I'd pick Charlie Patino. Big up Mr. Adlib23. What have you said? Hope you are well. First question is, what would the Kroenkes have to do to get you and the fans back on side? Do everything with, actually show us that you want to be an owner who wants to win. Back up your chat. If you want to be, I don't mind that he's a silent, hands-off owner. I actually somewhat admire that. But could you install the proper people in the right positions that can look after the club when you're not there and ask Arteta the right questions? So I would say that just back up your chat. Back up your chat. Invest significantly. Yeah, we spent 100 million this summer, but it's not levels, Actually press things like, if Roman Abramovich sees Chelsea need a centre mid, he's doing it. I don't know if Lampard asked for Havertz, whoever asked for Havertz, but certain man wanted Havertz. Obviously, Tuchel would take Haaland. I don't know if he was asking for Haaland. Chelsea tried to do it. So, just look at your counterpart, Roman Abramovich, and try to be like that. I'm not even talking about the spending. Just try and be like that, to be fair with you. Is what it is. John Doe said, how could you tell from early Marie was so shite? I thought he'd be our Poundland Laporte. You could just... He's not crap. He's not rubbish at all. You could just tell a man's not levels. Like, you could just see it. He's not levels. I don't know. You can just see he's not levels. Like, you could tell he lacks pace. It's the lack of pace that struck me. It's like you don't need to be mad quick as a defender, but you need to be able to read the game. Does he read the game the best? Potentially not. In comparison to some of his teammates, he does, but I don't think he does the business there. So I think it was just bait really early on. And for me, I couldn't understand fans. They were giving, certain fans will swear blind they never said it. But at the time, I couldn't understand so much. Similar to Arteta, Marie had a lot of propaganda. The man played like 2 games and everyone's saying he's the best centre-half. I know you lot remember some Arsenal fans saying he's better than Gabriel. Funny how that worked out. So I wouldn't say I could tell from early. You could just tell he's not levels. You know much about Favre, my ideal Pepe replacement if we sell. You know much about Roman Favre, my ideal Pepe replacement if we sell. No, I don't. So I can't really answer that question. You said Mahrez and Ben White that tracks back. I mean, fair play to him, The name rings a bell. Is he playing in France? But I don't know him like the back of my hand to be talking about him. So, yeah, man, I mean, hopefully that could be a good replacement. Who has a higher ceiling, Martinelli or Adeyemi? And are you willing to cash in on Gabby if it meant us getting Kareem? No, I wouldn't cash in on him. And I'd probably say Adeyemi. I mean, Martinelli's got potential, but Adeyemi's actually realising it. Martinelli currently isn't exactly doing that, whether I believe it's his fault or whatnot. I like the look of Seko Fofana this season, ex-Man City too, so Mikel knows him like Marie. He's a decent player. What do you think lies ahead for Ainsley? Arteta has only used him in a midfield capacity since pre-season. I mean, we're going to wait and see. If I'm completely honest with you, I don't know what the hell is going to happen with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, if I'm completely real with you. Again, our midfield is dropping like flies. We've got a lack of bodies there. He's going to need to give him an opportunity. We've signed a right back. I don't know is he going to start ahead of right back? Is he going to play right back or midfield against Norwich? Partey isn't fit. El Nene isn't fit. Lokonga, we've heard it can play, but he's got a knock. Smith Rowe is still ill, even if he's fit. So can you get an opportunity? Tommy Sayu, yeah, he signed his work. He's got his work permit and things, but is it too early for him to get thrown in? I don't think so. The manager might say you haven't trained that much. You might not start. So that could be something. So time will tell. I don't really know. Personally, I think Maitland now should have got out of here in the summer, but time will tell. Hopefully that can be proven wrong. We got one. He said, with the way we've been more willing to spend a piece more in the last few years, how successful do you think Conte could be if we brought him in? how long's a piece of string? Personally, I think he'd be crippled, you know. I do think if he had that squad now, I think he maximizes it a bit more to a point. I think we see a style of play, you know, we see certain players shining, you know, a lot of question marks that have been at the squad prior to Arteta would still be there, but I think we would see a lot more change out of him. In terms of would he follow what he's done at Juventus, Inter Milan or Chelsea, winning titles? Probably not. You know, it'll probably work for 5 minutes and then Conte will bust out personally. So I do think he could achieve success at Arsenal in terms of kind of what we wanted Emre to do, settle things down, you know, weed out the crap players, put like a base level of stuff, and then you can try this more expansive thing like Mikel Arteta and things. So that's how far I think he'd get. I don't think he'd be as successful as people think. You know, again, every manager is going to be crippled under this gaffer, if I'm completely honest with you. What do we need in the next transfer window? Well, between January and the summer, my dude, I would say we personally need a centre mid or two. We need a striker. We're gonna need a goalie and maybe a decent utility man. I would like another winger, if I'm honest with you. You've also said how far are we away from having a group of players capable for fighting for the top four. I think they have it now, but the mentality is shit. If in terms of mentality and ability matching up, I would say you need a couple of midfielders minimum. You know, I'd say you need some midfielders. Until you get a couple of more midfielders and move away from Xhaka, people can forget about any of that, if I'm completely honest with you. That's just what I feel. One love for that, man. I answered the questions provided of me there. So one love to you lot. Your thoughts on the lineup versus Wimbledon? I'm going to take my boys. Hope to see Patino play. I would love to see Charlie Patino play. I'd love to see a couple of the young players play. But at this moment in time, we haven't even got through Norwich, my guy. So I don't know. You'd imagine Ramsdale probably isn't going to play against Norwich. He'll get his looking in the cup. Hopefully, you know, you would like to hope Balogun gets a start there. Maitland-Niles might get a midfield opportunity there. You know, Smith Rowe, if he doesn't play significantly, might get an opportunity as well. So I'm not too sure, really and truly, if I'm honest with you. Love for the questions, though. Big up DG. Out of 10, how would you rate our forwards? Aubameyang, Lacazette, Eddie Nketiah, Martinelli and Balogun. What, in general or collectively? To collectively, it's difficult, but I would say... Well, out of 10, well, Aubameyang's a 10 out of 10 striker. Forget the form, well, you can't forget the form, but you get the point. He's a 10 out of 10 forward, really. Lacazette, 6. Doesn't score enough. Like we didn't listen. I love Lacazette, but he hasn't scored 20 league goals. So you know, you don't bring much to the table. You know, it's catch 22. If you've seen guys that score goals for fun. People say, what do they do when they're not scoring? But like with Lacazette, you can press as much as you want. You can be good for the young players. You need to score goals. I mean, the Lacazette we're talking about isn't the Lacazette we thought we was getting from Lyon. And one thing I'll give Arsenal is they realize really and truly that Lacazette ain't going to be that guy 6 months into it because they went and got Aubameyang. If Lacazette was doing what Aubameyang could do historically, be a complete player, and Aubameyang probably would not be at Arsenal Football Club. So I'd give him a 6-7. You know, I can't lie. As much as I praise him for pressing and link up play, I can't really praise players for pressing. You should be able to press. You should be able to work your socks off. You know, you cost 50 odd million. You're a French footballer. You've played for Lyon, come through the academy Lyon. As a striker, you should be able to link up plays. So I'd probably give him a 6/7. Eddie, 4 in it. He's not levels right now, in it. Martinelli, I give him a 5. The jury's still out. You know, again, I still think he's got a lot of ability, but him and Balogun are 5s for me. They still got a lot to learn in the senior game. Potential, 50 million out of 10, of course, but that's where I'd be at, man. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at. So unless you look, well, that's the shortest Q&A I've technically done, really. So the members have let me down, really. No one's got no questions to ask, so I have no choice but to take some questions from the subscribers. Well, that's not a question. Salute from Canada, mad love. Do you think we'll see Charlie Patino? And would you sack Arteta if we tie / or get defeated? I mean, if I was Arsenal's board, I'd be putting plans into place to get things done, my guy. You know, to get things done for get a new gaffer and things. So I don't know when he'll be sacked, but again, he's riding off credit in the bank since November, so he needs to offer something. And I would like to see Patino. I don't think you're going to see him at the weekend, if I'm honest with you. Why do you think Eddie gets so much hate from the fan base? I don't know, man. I think it's just cool to hate Eddie, same way they hated Joe. But at the same time, he's just not levels. Like, he's not. I think Eddie has, you know, I think he's been content to just score the occasional cup goal and do these celebrations. You know, I think a lot of these Arsenal young players that I've seen better players not given an opportunity, and I've seen better players not being given a collective opportunity. Some players I think have relished it. Some players I think have been extremely complacent. So, yeah, man. It's cool to hate Eddie. You know, I do agree with you. But yeah, man, for me, I just say he's just not levels. John Doe, appreciate you for getting those questions in as well, my guy. Means a lot. What else have we got? Appreciate you tuned in from Saudi. I feel the heart of our fringe players are depleted after seeing how rubbish we've been, in my opinion. Yours? Everyone should be depleted. Every damn player, really. What's your opinions on Cesc Fabregas overall? Bloody good footballer, and that's not doing him enough justice, really and truly. Is TT available for Norwich? Allegedly, you know, he's fit. As Arteta said, he's passed his work permit. So if the gaffer wants to include him on the bench or start him, he can, you know, he can do his thing, but he is fit and raring to go. Henri or Burkamp, my guy Henri. Appreciate you, Ben. If you could get 3 out of 3 in if you could get 3 out and 3 in, what's your priority? Sorry, I know you've had this before. Chris, no minor, bro. Good question. Threw me off a bit. I'm gonna have to think now. 3 out, 3 in. We got rid of what we got rid of Bellerin. Renaissance gone on loan. 3 in. Karim Adeyemi, Hossam Aouar. Good question, my guy. Basuma, fuck it, Basuma. Or no. Sorry, Basuma. Adeyemi, Aouar, and the lad from Monaco that was at Bordeaux that I told you lots of madness. I can't say his name. Tushamani or something. He played for France the other day. I'd say them. Out. Granite. Leno. Question your commitment to this thing. I'm trying not to talk about the loan players because it's cheating you. So so I can't say Torreira. It's funny enough. I'd say yeah, like I said, Leno, Xhaka. I guess then we're looking at the Cedrics, the Maries, them sort of level guys. They're really them guys that are not really bringing nothing to the table. I'd say them play El Nene, these sort of guys there, and find better fringe players. If I'm honest with you, Chris, I'd say that. To be fair, my guy, I'd say that. Good question, man. Do you think there's any way we could get Guendouzi back at the club? Well, there's an obligation to buy, so I think it's all done. But there must be some, you know, we haven't been told the exact conditions of what makes it an obligation. So if they're not hit or these variables are not hit, then there's issues there. But yeah, I don't think so. I think it's gone, man. It's gone. Do you think Kiddo and Amari will get close to the first team this season? I'm not too sure what they'll do, but I do know they both have a decent chance of making an appearance at the first team. Amari Hutchison's playing very well, as is Kiddo Taylor. Hey, Cam, you see, this is the thing about Arsenal. You forget to go back to Chris's question about 3 out and 3 in. You forget some men are actually on the payroll. Kolasinac, you're doing him dirty with Kalaja crap, but Kolasinac still. The fact that it took you long to think of 3 out does make me think we're going in the right direction with the Deadwood. Let's just hope the players coming in won't turn into the Deadwood. No. Don't. I had to think about it because I wanted to give you my honest opinions. It's not because man are so good. Like man are saying, there's Kolasinac, there's Onene, there's Xhaka, there's Leno, there's Cedric. There's still Bellerin on paper. There's still Torreira on paper. There's still Callum Chambers. You know, Rob Holding is still knocking about. Pablo Marie, as I said. Yeah, man. I would say them ones there, really. Do you think Arteta will be sacked if we lose against Norwich? Probably not. Great Q&A. If you could offer some advice or even challenge Arteta on his man management, what would you like to say to him? To be fair, as much as I can criticize Arteta, I'm in no position to give him advice. He's a Premier League manager, FA Cup winner. I ain't got none of that. So I would say in terms of his man management, just realize you can't rule with an iron fist. You know, just be a bit more sympathetic. Just show a bit more clarity. You know, I know life isn't fair, but be a bit more fairer. It just feels like if I do something bad and you do something bad, because Arteta might like me and hate you, the book's thrown at you, but then I'm playing again because you set yourself up when you say non-negotiables and certain players are going to Dubai, they're playing poor on the field and they're still playing. Certain guys are playing well and they're dropped for 5 to 10 games. It don't look good. So I don't know for advice, but I would just ask him that. I'll say just look to understand them from a human point of view, which I'm sure he does. You know, again, it just feels football. We got to remember footballers aren't robots. Thoughts on Patino baller? I mean, I've said it enough times. Like, just check out all of my other content. Absolute baller. You know, there's not much more I can say about Charlie. He's an absolute baller. Can play ball. Just let the man develop, and we might see a potential first teamer. So yeah, man, it's one of them ones there, really. What other questions? What's your starting lineup versus Norwich from the lads available? I spoke about that in my last live stream, my bro. You know, just go to the timestamp where I've spoken about Arsenal. It's all there. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Who would you like to take charge of Arsenal if Arteta was to go? Oof. Gasperini. I'm not too convinced on Hassan Hutel, but it's an avenue I would explore because he's used to working with not much and maximizing it. So Gasperini, him, Conte, a dream. Well, I wouldn't actually say a dream because I don't think he fits us to a T better than what we have. You know, I'd explore Eddie. Man said Eddie Howe. I don't really want Eddie Howe. I'll explore Graham Potter. I'll try to get Brendan Rodgers in, but again, you know, Kroenke has to leave because why would these guys want to come to this establishment? So I would say these sort of guys, but I wouldn't mind an unknown. Just someone that can maximize what they have and someone that has to work with less. Do you think Aubameyang should be sold? No. He does need to keep it 100, show that same energy. That's it for me, man. Facts. Do you think Donny van der Beek would have been a good buy for us this summer? We ain't got nothing. We look at our options by default, yeah, and I like him, man. I've read that there's internal rifts in our squad. Who do you think the culprits may be? To be fair, it's difficult and it's not really fair to say it, but I don't know, man. I don't really know because it could be internal risks because guys are not taking this thing seriously. Or I don't think Saka's like that, but if I'm Tierney, if I'm Saka, if I'm these guys, they might be causing the risk because they're tired of you, man, moving like joke, man. So I don't know. I would say Arteta's caused the risk because there's inconsistent tactics, there's inconsistent results. The players need to stand up to be counted, but there's probably a whole lot of finger pointing going on in the squad. And whenever, literally, I implore you all, and I know some of you did, point your finger right now. Point a finger at something in your room. Now, look at your finger. While you're pointing, there's 3 fingers looking directly back at you. So by that logic in life, before you ask a question of someone else, take some accountability. And it don't look like we've got that. We've got a bunch of prima donnas who, when we win and do well, everybody's fighting and barging each other to talk to the press. When we lose, there's no accountability off the field. There's no accountability in training based on how you lot play every week. And there's none everywhere else. So it's a madness. One love to everyone. Hey, you lot asking questions, make sure you're hitting the like button, you know, because we're nowhere near 100 minimum. Man said Conte or Rodgers. I hope. We all hope, man. We all hope. We all hope. Hope you're well as well, my guy Mika. I hope you're doing blessed. S, you've said, do you think this season Oba and Laka should play together or do you use one strike and the other comes on the bench? Me personally, right, while we've got inconsistent performances and there's no system, I just think they both, you know, you either play Aubameyang or Laka. Now, on current form, it's probably Laka, saying that Aubameyang's our top goal scorer. I think when we get a bit more healthier, then you can start playing fullbacks that can play centre back, and start changing up the thing. But for me, I just feel right now, and you've seen it from pre-season, they imbalance the team, like they really do, and whatnot. So I'd say one of the two. When we're in a bit of a healthier standard and we've put a bit more consistency, then let's start freestyling and whatnot. But I just feel it's one of the two. And to be fair with you, we should be not relying on these players. We should be building a system to, you know, so that we can go without them. You know, we're a club that relied on a past at Koscielny. With respect to Koscielny, we still miss David Luiz. We're probably going to wait till Xhaka's about 35 before we go, we might need to bring in a midfielder here. It's crazy, man. Agreed. Tierney looked vexed after the last game. Holding was doing the stairs and pointing out after conceding. To be fair to you, Holding's very vocal. Whatever you say about Holding, I think Holding isn't scared to say something. So it probably is. You know, it probably is fractured. But for whatever reason, you lot all collectively don't show any fight. So, boy, I don't really care. Even the players I rate, you know, I got a lot of time for Tierney, Saka, Smith Rowe, you know, all of the Partey, all of these guys. You don't know the list of players. I got all the time in the world for them, but they're not faultless. I might not blame you as much, but everyone's been part of this thing. Everyone has been part of this failure. Some of you have been more than others, but everyone needs to take accountability. Everyone needs to take accountability, forgive themselves, and truly in their heart want to move forward. Truly in their heart. They don't truly want to get better. Because, you know, as you don't know, to change and stuff, there's that problem there. There's that friction. When these lot are met with any adversity or any friction, They bottle it, and I have to assume that extends to their personal life, and it upsets me because when you look at some of the journeys these players have taken into football, whether they're the descendants of immigrants who have left countries, whether they've been rejected several times, they've all had to get through adversity, or their families had to come through adversity for them to get to this stage in this privileged position of being footballers, much less at Arsenal. So when I don't see that same reaction, it jars me. It really does. Do you think Arsenal under Arteta are focusing more on the cups this season instead of finishing as high as possible in the league? What cups though? The League Cup, that ain't gonna do nothing. Arsenal, we ain't really won that. I ain't seen us win that. FA Cup, I would love it. I think Arteta disrespected the FA Cup, if I'm honest with you. I just think the priority is just to get a base level of a football team. I don't think there's any expectations to get top four, to do them things. I think the minimum is they just want to see this young squad look like a team, and if that's done, then I think it'll be all right, man. Do you think all the Kieran Tierney for captain talk is premature, especially with his injury record? To be fair, his injury record ain't exactly relevant, but I don't think so. I think he's one of the players that just he's on stuff. What I would like to do is look at my team, and I can't really pick out a captain. I don't know who's wearing the armband. It doesn't really matter who's wearing the armband. Everyone should stand up to be counted. But I don't think it's premature. It's only premature off the basis of we're a joke of a club, how we're moving, and he has come in here and been here 2 minutes, and he shows more of what we want to see than others. So I don't think so. I don't think so. If I'm completely honest with you, bro, I just think it's sad that for me, Kieran Tierney, Saka, Partey, Gabriel, Smith Rowe, potentially Odegaard now, definitely Lokonga, even though he's only played 2 minutes. It's the guys that have been here for 2 seconds that we're looking at and saying they somehow have a close to a Scooby-Doo about what we want to see at Arsenal. It's the long-lasting people that have been here. It's Arteta that's been here for several years as a player, now a manager, played under Wenger. It's Xhaka, it's Leno, it's Bellerin, it's not just them, it's El Nene, it's these guys that I don't have faith in. And these are the ones that should reflect it. Bellerin, we shouldn't even have signed the right back this summer because Bellerin should have been that guy. Xhaka should be the guy. Leno should be the guy. I love Aubameyang, but I can't rely on Aubameyang or Lacazette again. Lacazette don't score enough goals. Aubameyang, even like Tierney now, the superpowers are gone. He's been sucked off his superpowers. Maybe that's why Arteta keeps his youthful looks. That's why we're not doing anything in the final third. I don't know, man. I don't know if Arteta has any bias against Aubameyang and Lacazette because I don't think he rates any of them particularly. I think he recognizes Aubameyang's a goal-scoring threat. I don't know what he likes about Eddie, but Eddie took them man's spot at one point. And obviously Lacazette, he gives you a lot. He just doesn't score goals. I've said this many times, and my long-term subscribers know this. I don't think I don't think he's convinced on any of them. I just feel he wish he could merge them all together, and he'd have his forward, man. Bro, Tierney, Saka, all these men are gonna bust out. You see when the penny drops for Saka and Smith Rowe that we're not. It's not just a living the dream thing. We're not just young naive players playing in the Premier League. I'm playing against Ronaldo. I'm playing against this guy. Once the penny drops, like all right, I've developed enough. What am I trying to do? But man, I'm gonna look at Arteta like you can't develop, man. Look at the system. What's going on? You look at the owners and what we're doing and whatnot. It's a dickhead thing, The only carrot that saves us is their young players. We've assembled some young players. Whether they can develop is another thing. Whether they can collectively develop is another thing. Do you think the players have different mentalities in regards to club standards and what they should be achieving? I feel like you have some players that will fight and others that are happy being average. Yeah, I think there's players that won't fight. I think there's players that are scared. I just think there's some man in this team that can't fight. I've said it before. Like you can be a footballer, but you need to go somewhere else where there's no expectation. You're not trying to do anything where you're just a footballer. It's your job. You're just a footballer. I don't think certain players can handle it. And then, like we kind of said, following on from the last question, you've got the Tieneys, the Sakas, historically Aubameyang and even Leno, to be fair, even though they've lost their powers, that get it, So I do think so. That's why it has to be fractured. That dressing room has to be fractured because they don't play like a collective unit, So it is what it is. I mean, the only thing that really pees me off, I only hear friction, fighting, all of these things off the field. You're meant to be a family. Some of you have got brothers and several brothers, and if you're a girl, you got sisters or brothers and sisters, you fight each other. But you all want to do the best for each other. If someone out the road tries to trouble a sibling or your cousin or whatever, you should be doing something against it. Like, you might be able to beat up your younger brother, but he can't, like, someone from the street can't bad you up. So it's always like we've got all this fight for ourselves. You hear fights in the dressing room, fights in the training ground. We've got all these fights for each other, But we don't have any fight when we're going and playing strangers. Like when we're playing Brentford, when we're playing Chelsea, when we're playing City. There's none of this fighting talk and none of this. And I don't like that, because for me, that's like, we've all got friends or whatever age you are. There's man out there that you're some of your brethren. They're bad for you. They're not bad for people out the street. They might talk to you some sort of way, but if something happens with someone they don't know, they're gonna be hella humble, man. Good questions being asked today. Quality, trust me. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Hey, might have to start opening up these Q&As past members, because the members are, the subscribers are saving the day. Again, you have to be a subscriber to comment at this moment in time. I thought, let me be cheeky and do that. We didn't need Odegaard. I think he might stunt Smith Rowe's development. Nah, I disagree. We did need Odegaard. If not necessarily Odegaard, you needed it. I more wanted an 8. We've gone for a 10. You needed something. You did need something. And again, Smith Rowe can't play by himself. He gets injured, we're back to square one. Like with Partey last season, it was as great as it was signing him. That 6 gets injured, it's an issue. Certain managers would think, okay, let me sign another 6. Let me bring Torreira back into the fold or keep him. Let me sign the next lesser known. Maybe even, again, it's easy, but let's go for Lokonga now. Certain other guys will naively just cry wolf. Like, oh my God, we've got injuries. I'm a football manager. I'm surprised we've got injuries. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. Them man that thrive in mid-table settings, bro. We're mid-table and they're not doing nothing. I don't even think that. I don't even think Premier League. I just think you man need to go somewhere else where you just kick ball. It's not serious because it's not here. Do you think Smith Rowe and Odegaard can play in a midfield 3 with Partey, or do these two play with one on the wings? I think they could. I want to get to that standard where we have a squad where if we need to play 2 6s or maybe even a 6 and a defensive mid, because we're not going to have much of the ball, or sometimes the handbrake completely off, 3 number 8s, 2 number 8s and a 10, 2 8s and a 6. We need to be able to do that, but that's only going to come with the personnel and Mikel Arteta addressing the midfield. Again, I have a bit of an agenda in this regards. I can't understand Arsenal's midfield. The man was a midfielder. If anything should look like it has a plan, it should be the midfield. You lot are smart. You lot see where I'm going. How confident are you with our physio Bruno Mezzotti? Does he come up in your thoughts/assessments at the moment? I swear he left, so you can't even get at him, man. You can't even get at him. He's not relevant. Hear me out, DG. Do you think Super Jack to Arsenal on a pay-as-you-play contract is a bad thing for this season? I don't think it's the bad thing. We could do a lot worse, but it is just pure sentiment. So Smith Rowe can definitely become an 8. But again, the gaffer's got a coach them able to play that. Man, I've played Smith Rowe as a false 9 before he's played him as an 8. So I don't know what to tell you. You lot watch the same things as me, man. Thoughts on how Mikel is managing Pepe? I'm not going to lie. I think he has improved Pepe. That's one thing. If he stepped away tomorrow, I could sit here and say, obviously, Pepe isn't firing on all cylinders. But I do think within the last year, Pepe's all-round game has improved. He defends well. His attitudes towards defending. There's been times he's scored, and that's not the most impressive thing with me. He's winning headers. He's doing all these things. So I would say he's done all right. But at the same time, obviously, now Willian's not here. We might see more with the whole Willian saga and why Nelson, Martinelli, Pepe weren't playing. It was a bit difficult to understand. How much would you sell Pepe for, bro? You'd be lucky to get 30 million euros for Pepe at this moment in time. So might as well just keep him in it and just use him for a couple of years. And even then, I swear he's contracted until 23, 24. I could be wrong. But you'd imagine in the next couple periods, you've got to be trying to give him a new deal. Or at least thinking about it or considering it. So, hey, make of that what you will. Mario asks serious questions. My man said, would you take Roy Keane as gaffer? Do you think it is time to move on from Pepe and just accept it was a howler and move on? I don't think it's a howler. I just don't think shouldn't have spent 70 million. It was never going to be like Mo Salah or anything like that. But I think at worst comes to worst, he's a decent squad player. So you might as well. Yeah, the 70 million is an L, man. Man said Pepe Bellingham for swap. You live in a movie, but I'd be for it. If it meant bringing Jude to the carpet, baller. Make sure we're hitting the like button, people. 61 likes, 159 of you locked in, doing me dirty. You have done me dirty with the views today. What's a successful season for Arsenal? Well, for me, it's Europe. For me, it's simply higher than 8th now. For me, it's seeing proper. You know what we want to see, bro. convince, consistency. When we're losing, we're losing to the better team. It's not that we've lost to the better team and people are switching off defensively. People are not following runners. People are getting caught on the ball, bewildering tactics, all of these sort of things. So I would say for me, first things first, a shift in mentality, proper mentality, clarity over what the hell we're trying to do. For me, any season that we don't get Europe after thinking about it, if we go out the Champions League, then the priority has to be, trying to get back in it. So every year you don't get in it, you're failing. Now we're out of Europe, full stop. And if you don't get Europe, that's a failure. So it can't be successful in you if there's no Europe. But for me, you can save face with come May if we see certain things we don't see at this moment in time. But I wouldn't necessarily say that's successful. I feel like absolute shit saying Europa Conference League, but bro, when you're not in Europe, it is what it is. If you're hungry and you ain't had no food, it doesn't matter if it's Novikov or anything like that or McDonald's, bro. You're gonna yam it in it, provided it's halal in my case and whatnot. Pepe has everything to be a great winger, just needs proper coaching and more support from the right back and shoot when you need to shoot, pass when you need to pass. I would say. Yeah, man, it is what it is. The Pepe disrespect is mad. Quality player needs a quality right back behind him to get the best out of him. I do think there's a lot that he needs to do off his own back, but agreed, he ain't had a proper partner. Don't know what's gonna happen for Odegaard. Ben White and Gabriel, hopefully they're going to be coached. There's Arteta, for me, hasn't put enough emphasis on partnerships and whatnot and building them up and whatnot. It's crazy, man. It's jarring. But yeah, Pepe's a decent player. I don't think he's a bad guy. It's a bit like Lacazette in that you need to accept we're not getting that match winner that well, he has won games for us, Pepe. That's not fair. We're not getting that sort of upper talent, but he can still be of use to the club. So yeah, man, that's what I would say. Best question has been, what's a successful season for Arsenal? Because it's pondering, but nothing. I don't think anything can be success for the club. I reckon if like he keeps saying, we need to see the team fit and how it gels. I reckon they get that. I think they've said they've had a successful season, but boy, less of that, man. We want to run joke about Spurs being in Europe and not winning that trophy, man. Allow it, man. Less of that. To like my like End-to-End podcast, football podcast, has said less of that, substantially less of that, man. We don't need that negativity in our lives, man. 69 likes, people. We're not at 100. Get the questions in, man. I mean, no questions. I'll just bust out. Like, I don't mind. Still, next stream is at 4 still. So it could be a decent little rest period for man. So love for the super chat, broski. I think the team have turned on him and fed up with the Richard /dictator management. If that's the case, surely there's no way back, and they're just longing the inevitable. I hear you. Love for the super chat. I don't think he's lost them yet. I think it's one of them. He probably has lost a couple, but collectively, I think couple people are just they're starting, and I think it's a couple of games. If it continues, that's when he's really lost them. I don't think he's lost them yet. I think people are beginning to say, "Oh, what do you reckon, man? What's going on? You rate this guy? It's a myth." And he's lost he hasn't lost Xhaka or Leno, but he's lost one of his lieutenants in Bellerin. Xhaka tried to bust out, so clearly he must not be feeling, man. Leno doesn't want to sign a new deal. Eddie don't want to sign. Now, obviously, I'm being a bit harsh, but you have to wonder why these things are going on, really. Would you mind if White plays defensive mid for us? I mean, if we need to do it, then yeah, but the man's a centre-half. Play the man at centre-half, It's always when Arsenal sign players, we signed Tomiyasu. Oh, he can play centre-back and right-back. Cedric can play here. Chambers can play there. Even people are doing it with Partey. Not saying he can play left wing and that, but man, we're sitting there and going, whoa, he can do the attacking thing. He can do the defensive thing. No, he can't. Like, let's just lock down being able to do one job and then other things. It's like a tradesman, You get tradesmen that are electricians and they know a little bits and pieces about plumbing. You rarely get everyone knows everything about everything. You need to become a master of one, then you can learn a next thing. It just feels like certain right backs, we don't lock down being able to play right back, and then you're gonna go play left wing and left back. It don't make sense for me. Big up yourself, TW. Fine line, between you need versatility, but versatility and and shoehorning, there's a fine line. Mario, you're not asking serious questions, man. You're going on timeout, bro. I'm excited to see Ainsley Maitland-Niles have a chance in midfield. Genuinely think he has the attributes for it to work. Just needs to be trained more. What do you think? I'm at the point where, honest to God, I'm past it with a lot of these young players. I just want new Donnies. Like, Maitland, go and do whatever, innit? You know, you've got however long to show it. I don't know what midfielder are you. You know, you've got the legs, but I can't praise a midfielder for having legs. You know, what are you? So show what you can bring to the table, if I'm completely honest with you. I'd love him to get a chance. He's a hailing lad, but I can't lie, the emotion's gone. I'm kind of past it with Bear, man. DG, how do you rate Arteta's management of the players' game time since he's been coach/manager? It's been shit, man. Like, you pulling El Nene in for no reason, playing Kolasinac for no reason, mismanaging Partey, I feel, with the injuries, unnecessarily risk Luiz and Xhaka, and they've picked up knocks at vital periods as well. You know, ridiculously giving Willian minutes rather than giving it to other young players. You know, again, time will tell what you're doing with Martinelli and Balogun. And I know it's easier said than done, but I just, yeah, man, I don't get it. It's only the shit man that seem to be having a good time under Mikel, man. Really. And obviously, yeah, you're right. Tavares, you know, left back, right wing, left wing, left back. You know, I don't mind. You need adaptability. People need to do a job. Maitland as well. But we've got too many of these guys. That what are they? Like, what is Tavares? What is Ben White? What is half of these guys? We all need Ben White's a centre half, but the minute he's coming, oh man, can play right back, defensive mid. I get it. I'm actually not against using it, but can we, because of where we are, we just need to certify, you know, just go back to basics. You're a centre back. Let's work on how the centre back and the defensive unit tie in. Then, when again, like I said, to answer a different question earlier, when you've locked that down, then be experimentative and that. Why not, sort of thing, you know? But right now, we can't be doing all of that. Like, for me, anyways, because it's not banging at all. Like, when the confidence is there, when there's a little less pressure, then yeah, by all means, try these things. We want to do that. I want us to be able to do them unpredictable things, because then you're obviously unpredictable. But right now, left backs, centre backs, centre backs. Up front, you're a striker. You know, obviously there's exceptions to the rules. Would you take relegation to maybe get a new owner who will probably care? Nope, because it sets us back even further. I hear that, man. Love for the super chat. For Martinelli, what would be success at season end? To play significantly. Simple as that, really and truly, man. To play significantly, I would say. Your opinion on Martinelli? Short and sweet. Fantastic footballer. Love how he presses. Love his tenacity. Think fans gas him a bit. Think he's raw in many aspects. Think he needs to improve that first touch. You know, think he needs to get a bit physically, I don't know the word, but a bit more tunk. I like him though, man. I think there's something there in him. You know, I see a bit of Alexis Sanchez in him. Lauren was a right back first. Van Bronckhorst was a left back first. To be fair, Lauren was a centre mid, but still. Hey DG, quick one during my lunch break, but I don't think anyone would thrive in the manager role at Arsenal. Structure of the club wouldn't allow it, and the players aren't it at the moment because of the owner. That's why I think it's a poison chalice. Bro, he's got that South American hunger. You know, Martinelli was originally meant to be in our 23s. He impressed everyone with what he's doing in training. Everyone's like, yo, who's this brother? It's got to be a first team thing. One love, Mo's Kitchen, man. I appreciate that. DG, thoughts on Edu stating that Lokonga and Tavares are backups kind of re-emphasizes our historic lack of competition and comfy environment. Adnan, I think that's harsh, because naturally they're brought in to be backups, clearly, you know, with Partey and Tierney respectively. But just because you arrive as a backup, I want you to give problems. Like, for me, Tavares has no chance of starting ahead of Tierney. But I want him to push him all the way. If there's an incident where, I don't know, Tierney's... even now, let's be real, Tierney's my guy. But these 3 games, he's been absolute trash. Let's just say someone say, fuck it, Tavares, that's your chance. And let's just say against Norwich, he takes his opportunity. So I think he would deserve to start his next game. And if he takes his spots, that takes his opportunities, that's his spot to hold on to. And then obviously, Tierney's got to pattern up and things. That's what we need, sort of thing. But yeah, man, we knew none of these players, apart from probably Ben White and Odegaard, and now Lokonga by default because he has to play. Only Ben White and Odegaard were probably immediate impact Donnies. DG, I don't know if it's just me, but I do not get alerts for your lives anymore. I have to stumble on here and catch you live because YouTube are player hating, bro. YouTube just don't want us to blow, bro. YouTube are acting. That's why I always tell you, look, community tabs, like you said, make sure you're getting in the habit of checking. Make sure you follow me on Twitter because I always post it onto my Twitters and my Instagrams, and that YouTube is just hating on the thing, man. Absolutely hating. But love for you for making it here. 10 more people hit the like button and we've hit 100. There's 192 of you locked in. Unfortunately, you lot are doing the guy dirty, man. DG, hear this. I said it to you earlier. Big Sam, 2-3 years. Add that style. George Graham, like. Then bring on a versatile manager, perhaps Vieira. No. Big Sam, allow me, bro. No. The logic, yeah. The personnel, dead. I'm not listen. I understand it. We're flirting with relegation. Big Sam can save us, although he didn't save West Brom. But no. If we get Big Sam, then then I'll. Do you know what? If Big Sam comes in after Arteta, I'm not like I said, big up Big Sam. But then that's when I'm really not done with the club. But all right, cool. We're not a football team no more. We're just playing. We're on a Sunday league thing. Then that's when I really stop getting angry at things because I understand. All right, cool. We're not trying to do anything serious or of significance. We're just there in it. We're just posted, really and truly. Last time we won the Premier League, we were defeated by Brentford, City, Chelsea, plus had an Asian player. Thoughts? You mean Brentford in pre-season? Boy, I don't know. Obviously, there's them coincidences there. I hear it, but mad. Trust me, bro. Coming from a West Ham fan, I hear you, bro. But it might actually be the best. I'm sorry to say. Maybe not Big Sam, but someone else, man. Not a question, but I keep thinking about how Bellerin and Arnautovic robbed us of Debussy. Boy, we're nowhere near 250 likes, my guy. We need to get to 100. Would you play 4-2-3-1 tactic? We do that already. No, I'm not taking Big Sam, bro. I'll beg Lomberg to come back, Wenger to come back. Bro, they might even tell Jack Wilshere to manage this thing before Big Sam. I might try throw my hat in the ring and try and manage before that. Might as well give it Mertesacker or Edu or just do something mad. Might as well let Tierney just be a player coach, man. Might as well just let Pep manage us on his off days, man. Like if we're playing at 12:30 and he's playing at 3, or just get someone to just get that one earpod done to stand there and just get Pep on the phone and let him just relay instructions. Forget YouTube BS. I always made time for your channel and your content and will continue to do so. Blender, I appreciate that, man. Honestly. Thoughts on Charlie Patton? I mean, check my videos, man. You know, absolute baller, man. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Wenger to come back. This fan base, I tell you. Boy. And it's the club. The club are making me look at it and like, you know what, Emery might not have been that bad. You know, Wenger weren't that bad. You know, when reality is everyone needed to bust out at the time and still need to. It's crazy. I'd have Ty. Love to AFTV's Ty, but no. I'm not trying to. We've lost. Man are saying the wind and all of that. No. Don't underestimate Big Sam. He may turn into Pep Guardiola with these players. Lol. I'm not underestimating no one, but lol. Dead. What's happening with Wilshere? Nothing. Arteta said the door's open for you to come and train. I don't want Wenger in, but I mean, if you're asking me whether I'd rather Wenger or Arteta at this moment in time, bro, the apprentice needs to step aside, man. Jake, I don't know who Jake Wilshere is, but Jack Wilshere would give the club an uplift, I believe. What do you think? I mean, yeah, knows the club and all of that, but that's only gonna last a day, bro. Like, man, I'm not gonna care about that if Jack Wilshere's in the squad and we're still doing the same nonsense. But I would like him in and around the squad, man. Reckon Camavinga comes on against Celta Vigo on Sunday. Hope so. Pepe or Smith Rowe, two very different players. DG, what if we got 3 points versus Norwich and play just average or worse? What would be your thoughts on Arteta? My thoughts would stay the same, that there's question marks over the guy, but we need to win, innit? We just need to get a win. Listen, I want it all. I want to be able to beat Norwich or just get a win and play convincingly, but beggars can't be choosers. First things first, just win, innit? Just win. Extra, play well. I'm not saying I won't criticize it, but just win. Pardon me. DG, how about you make some lifestyle videos, some personal collections? I mean, my lifestyle is boring, man. Like, I'm only a YouTuber with 41,000 subscribers, bro. Like, you can't see the green screen at this moment, but it's, bro, like, what lifestyle? You know, I ain't got no lifestyle to really show something, man. It is pure sentiment. Bro, Big Sam can be better than Arteta. Arteta's got the FA Cup, and for me, that's just because you're better than Arteta doesn't mean I want you. I don't want foolishness anymore at the club. Like, I don't think Big Sam helps us. By default, yeah, you could say that, but he ain't got that relegation unbeaten Undertaker record again. Appreciate that, my guy. Do you believe we should hire players who have the hunger like Omri and Vieira or Wright he had? We don't see them anymore. I mean, Ian Wright don't want to be a coach or anything, innit? Like, well, he would be somewhere, wouldn't he? Thierry Henry and Vieira, great players. It's about what you bring to the table as a manager or as a coach. I'd rather give it Vieira. He seems like he has a stronger CV, but I have question marks over that. I mean, Henry ain't shown me nothing that he could be a gaffer. He might be able to work at the club, but he ain't shown me much. And I don't want to bring back former players just for the sake of it. Man said, I'd rather Big Sam over Tony Pulis, but come on now. Is this what we're getting? Is this the territory we're going to? Really? Marcelo Flores, good footballer. You know, probably needs to be a bit patient to kick on into the 23s, but taking his chances. A draw would be worse. Saliba or Ben White long term, all of them. Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, fight each other. There's 3 at the back. There's, back 4. 2 of you are playing. Make sure you're not the one dropped. Grinding out the result is what is desperately needed against Norwich. I think trying to get 4 to 6 points out the next 3 games will be a start. Not great, but it's a slow grind. True. I don't want, but there's bare man I don't want, bro. But man, I'm saying Big Sam, We must be able to get an unknown Donny and just see what happens before that. Big Sam, Ian Wright will slide tackle Duns. I need to remember he's from South London. He will slide tackle Duns, but Ian Wright don't want to be no gaffer. I can't blame him because it is tough to be at IC3 and be a gaffer, but he don't want to do the gaffer thing anywhere. If anything, you might as well bring in Sol Campbell, but even him, I'm not really down for that. A bit too opinionated on the wrong things, and the thing is with me and the Invincibles, you can't do the iron. We need the iron fist. We need people to just get roughed up in the corridors and things, but it's like I think Henry would be a bit too intimidating. I ain't seen enough of what Vieira is on, even though he does give young player chances. I think if there was some sort of hybrid coach role for not head coach, but sign for Sol Campbell, out of the 3, I'd probably entertain that the most. But even then, it's a bit I don't know, it's a bit loose, if that makes sense, people. Who is your one to watch in the Premier League this season? Hey, man, I wish Jay, man, you should have given me time to prepare for that. You put me on the spot still. One to watch. I would have said, I swear I said Harvey Elliott at the start of the season, so I'll stick with that. I want to see Elise bad it up for Crystal Palace. Livramento, I said at the start of the year as well. I'm trying to think of a different guy. Right at the moment, they're the names I'm going with, bro, man. Where's Daniel Ek, bro? When you find out, tell me. Tell me. When we needed him, we shined you see the Batman logo when you're in trouble. We shined it. Where are you? And it's not, man, not seeing him. Ferran Torres, good shout. To be fair with you, started off in the right way against us, mind you. Bro, dreams. He got his stock price to move though, didn't he? Yeah, I've watched Money Heist. If Che Adams ends up patterning his finishing, bro, then he'd be a decent player. Damari Gray, you know what? Damari Gray, if he continues, I thought him and Townsend would be flops of the season. They must have heard my live stream and they took it personally. So credit to them, they're doing what they need to do. So by this logic, I probably shouldn't say Rondon, who's just signed for Everton. Cess or Mesut Ozil in their primes. Ooh, prime Mesut Ozil is something out of this world. So is a prime Cess. I'd rather. Oh, that's a good question. Still, Santi Cazorla. I'll sit on the fence now. I'm playing. It depends because if I've got the team set up in the way I believe it should, then Ozil's gonna. There's a wonder of a foot there, but I'll probably say Cess still. You can't blame him for not wanting to put down 4 billion on this. To be honest, he's got a consortium in it. His money's not that long, longer than mine. I shouldn't be doing that. You saying that we never saw prime Mesut, but we did see glimpses. Remember when he almost got the assist record? As Arsenal, we're silly, man. We're absolute silly. We did it. We needed strikers. We had the 10. There's no strikers. We have the 10. There's no defensive mids. You've got strikers. You're not playing the creative, man. It's a myth. You got the striker in the 10. You ain't got people to pass it forward. It's crazy, man. What if we get 2 points from the next 2 games? Are we allowed to call that progress? Boy, you could call it progress, man. Do you think Aubameyang's consistent performances have been hampered by Arteta's tactics since he was appointed? Well, last season and this one, I do think first and foremost, the striker needs to take responsibility. Everyone needs to take responsibility, whether they're failing or not. Because when he was scoring goals, no one said nothing. So he needs to take accountability of himself. But saying that, it doesn't matter if it was Balogun up front against Brentford, Lacazette plays up there, whoever plays up there is dead. There's no chances being created. You're just running around for the sake of it. And you can see Aubameyang's kind of fed up with it, if I'm honest with you. We needed Cess to do the Totti one club tick. It was never going to happen, innit? Leno or Ramsdale, who makes the cut versus Norwich? If it's up to me, I'd probably just give it Ramsdale, but Leno doesn't deserve to be dropped. He's one of the few players who actually played half decent against City. Does Arteta want the perfect striker or a jack of all trades? I think he's on the City thing. He wants someone that can link up play and all that stuff. I think if he had his way, we might not even play with a striker if our team was 30, if I'm honest with you. And Rama's a baller, you're right. DJ, remember the days of the pundit saying we're just one player from challenging? Now we're 15 and a coach, but I say 25. At the same time, that's what Arsenal love. We love the unfinished projects. We love being 2-3 away and then we don't build on it, and then it gets to a point where the 2-3 now 5 have left. We love unfinished projects. It's like cooking meals and not finishing them. We're just going on to next things and whatnot. We've done it. Project Youth at the moment, Project Youth before that, the dangled carrot that we're out of this thing now when we got Santi and then Ozu and then Alexis or whatever order it went in. Man said, Frank de Boer, you're bugging, man. What do you think about Partey? You reckon Atletico finessed us? No, I mean, people just obviously when you watch a man on a regular basis, he's not as good as you thought he was. And I don't think Partey's IQ is as high. His role, it's like we want him at Arsenal to be an all-rounder. He had a specific role at Atletico, right? The injuries haven't helped. And I just feel on the field, I don't think he's convinced fully, but I think he isn't helped. I don't think he's been managed with his injuries properly as well. But the jury's still out if we're real with ourselves, man. Prime Ozil was walking off in the Europa League final when we're 2 goals down. Glad to see the back of that parasite. That weren't Prime Mesut Ozil. And I'd walk off too if we were getting battered and doing nonsense, to be fair with you. I'd be so quick to move on Edu before Arteta. Swear down Overmars can pattern Arteta quick. To be fair to you, I hear the logic. You could have a novice manager with a technical director who's experienced all the vice versa of that. But at the same time, it's dead. Dan James under Bielsa might be another one to look out for. Maybe, potentially. He's half decent. He might be decent in that role where he just has to kick and run and whatnot. Who knows, man? Arsenal midfield is a mess for Arsenal. Headless chickens. The ones that are not headless chickens are pussios. Just scared. Don't want the ball. Want to do nothing. Brother, stop spamming. Arsenal fans that hate on Ozil are weird, bro. Half of them are just back in my day, just run around and smash into people and all that nonsense, man. Do you think Wenger with money, Arteta spent would have us competing for Champions League? I can't say that, but I do think we would see a lot more. Any competent manager shows a bit more. So, boy, I don't know, really. Prime Ozil was under Jose at Madrid. Assist for you, assist for me, assist for everybody. Hey, man, some of you lot make some funny comments sometimes, man. 7 years ago, no Arsenal fan would have entertained Conte's kind of football, but no one cares about Arsenal. But bro, I want Arsenal to play the way we did, but bro, we tried to do the FFP thing. FFP not saving us, so we need to spend bread. I don't necessarily. It's not that I don't want Conte. I don't think he's my sort of gaffer. But away from him, the fact that he wants to win, bro. Even though he's not coming, the nonsense we're doing, you might as well. We don't know if there's any ethical billionaires. We don't even know if Daniel Ek or Dangote or use the Qatari firm that wants to buy our club. We don't know what's going on, so we're willing to take it. I've spoke about Gasperini. Yeah, man, another one, has to work with what he has to potentially overachieve with what he's got. Clarity in what he wants to do. One thing about Nene is at least he gives 100%. You say that. Does he? Does he though? Because I agree with you, but does he? Because now I'm starting to think about when we're losing, centre back's got the ball, and you're hiding behind people where you know you're not going to be given it. That's not 100%. I'd rather you try get on the ball, get dispossessed, and lose it. Yeah, I might get onto you, but that's bravery for me. You know, certain people are happy to hide. I don't think that's 100%. I think that's a bullshit old thing. Oh boy, it's one of them ones, really. If I'm honest with you, Kante or Makelele, Ngolo, man. Nostalgia Kante, but Ngolo, man. Nah, I don't know, man. I think El Nene runs about, he puts a shift in, but no, man. I see him hide. I see him hide. Like centre backs are asking for the ball, asking to pass it. You're standing in front of people where you know the ball's not going to be given to you. Winning mentality, and winning doesn't always mean winning trophies or 3 points. It means when we're in training for an hour, I want to do this to the best of my ability. I'm not going to cheat myself. And until we start winning in that regards, is I want to recover in the best way. I'm going to get the right hours of sleep, you know, responding to adversity. It's madness, man. I remember one time El Nene nearly cost us a second penalty, giving away stupid fouls in the box. I like El Nene as a person, but he's tired, man. He's tired, man. Absolutely tired. Man said Jeff Hendrick. No, I'm just tired of cowards. Fundamentally, I think there's too many cowards collectively in the club. There's too much cowards. Cowardly in the way you speak and then the way you play. And like I can't in life, I don't respect cowards. I don't respect cowards, man. I don't really like cowards. I like bravery. I like people that want to stand up to be counted. I like people that when I speak to them or I hear them speak, they speak with ambition, they speak with clarity, they speak with a sense of purpose. I don't get that with anyone connected at this football club. Iniesta and Gerrard or Xavi and Lampard. Ooh. My bias is Iniesta and Gerrard, but I just feel, you know, you've got Xavi spraying them. Lampard's going to give you serious numbers in terms of goal scoring. I'll probably say Xavi and Lampard probably complement each other better, but I'm going to go with my guy Stevie G and Iniesta. I love Xavi and Iniesta come as a package, but I love Iniesta a tiny bit more. Afternoon, DG. Carry on the good work and don't be apprehensive to open that door. But but yeah, I think a 4-3-3 holding formation will suit Arteta's proposed pressing game. Yeah, man. DJ, I have mad respect for your knowledge on our youth lads. How do you get around to watching those games? Do you watch replays or live? And where do you watch the games, man? I'm at the games, bro. And yeah, man, 9 times out of 10, there are streams depending on where you know how to look, Dominic. 3 points against Norwich and Arteta stays, or lose and Arteta is gone. Which one you going for? I mean, I don't want us to ever lose a game of football, so I'm always going to pick 3 points against Norwich. It's one of them ones. What country would you want your next manager from? I don't care about that. It doesn't matter, bro. You know? Don't matter because I've seen. Listen, you got to be careful when you start speaking about this. But when I thought of, you know, Arteta, on top of the fact that he's worked under Wenger and Pep, I would have thought, you know what, Spaniard, the way they look at football is to go forward. The way they look at football is very good. Obviously, raised in La Masia and things like that, I would have thought we would see some of those Spanish principles. I don't see any of that. So for me, I don't care if a guy's from Siberia or from Edmonton like myself, fortunately. You know, if they could do the job, man. Where do you see us finishing this season, bro? Probably where we are if this continues. You know, at best, probably be. I don't know. I don't want to put a number on it, but the way we're moving, you'll be lucky to be able to see us in the top half. Be real with you. Don't really rate what we're doing. Don't really rate how we're behaving, if I'm honest with you, or what we're bringing to the table, people. It's scary. It's concerning, as you lot can see, man. None of these midfielders are good enough to play the style of football Arteta wants to play. Partey is not it. I don't agree. You can't, I don't agree. I think Lokonga, Partey, Smith Rowe, Martin Odegaard, don't even rate Xhaka, but I think Xhaka is able to play whatever you want. Whether I'd upgrade him or not is a different story. And what is this football? What is this champagne football that Arteta wants to play that he can't have this, despite the fact that he said these are the individuals I want? Great mentality, DG. I'll be dumbfounded when people state they want the team to lose for a manager to be sacked. I'll never comprehend a fan wanting their team to lose. And it's just selfishness. You ask the players to put aside their selfish goals and work for the collective. That's, put away your selfish things of what you want to do and your ego of seeing this the end of the back of this gaffer. I might not disagree. I want Wenger. I want Arteta to step down based on how he's moving. But you get it, man. Do you think Arteta is looking for the perfect striker or he just wants a jack of all trades? I've Sly answered this. I think he just wants that false nine. I think goal scoring isn't priority to him. I think if you do the dropping deep thing, he'll allow you. I think in an ideal world, he would like to have a couple more players that score mad goals and there's not too much of a reliance on the forward. Oh, the thing is, the whole Wenger signings thing is dead because he said, I want Xhaka to stay. He has brought back in Chambers. El Nene was loaned out by Emre. You played him 40 times. This is your squad. Did you ever imagine when you were a young buck enjoying bragging rights over North London and we would be here now? No, of course not. Of course not. How could I, bro? What football? There's nothing like Liverpool. Liverpool fucking press. Whether Liverpool win, lose or draw, they leave. They capture the Anfield spirit and the Jurgen Klopp. We keep going. Tired of it than that. It's dead, man. I'm not too sure on the Celtic gaffer personally. I'll take your word for it though. But your keyboard's on a madness. All right. Not all over the news media. I missed a few DG streams. So do you mind filling me in? Apart from among fans reacting to terrible start to the season, is there some genuine noise around Arteta being replaced? I don't think so, but there's got to be with the way he's moving. I can't lie to you. Last question, Steven Gerrard. I'd be open to it, but one thing I like about him, he knows he's probably not ready. He probably could take the jobs, but he wants to do it the right way. He's done his little under 18s with Liverpool, no rush to leave Rangers. I'm sure Liverpool are onto him. I don't know if Liverpool will be the next step, but there might be another intermediate step somewhere and then go. There's no rush. So it's one of them ones. You're starting 11 versus Norwich. Go back to my last live stream, check out the timestamps. I answered it, people. But on that note, I'm going to keep it moving. One love for all the questions, people. I'm back again at 4 p.m. So under an hour, Mo will be here. We'll answer some of your questions. I'll ask him his opinions on the Edu interview and the rest of it, man. But for now, going to love and leave you lot, people. Take care. DG, I'm out, man. Yeah, man. It's been a fantastic day of content. Make sure you're checking out the pin message. I've got hella content to come that ain't been released at this moment in time. And obviously, tomorrow it's Arsenal versus Norwich, where I'll be doing a watch along.
There's always that active and defending. I think it's like